which we feel are necessary for. I think so. I think there's some noise coming, so just take care of that. Okay. So I think we feel are necessary in terms of turmoil. So that's the reason we wanted to bring him into the talk to suggest us to tell our investors and for the things which they should be aware of when especially in terms of turmoils like wars, the corona kind of the COVID-19 effect, after the COVID-19 effect market. So Harpreet, we would like you to take this further, and if you have to show the presentation, that we are okay for that, or even if you have to do your talk with question answer sessions, we are also okay for that. I think I thought that you'll be making a presentation, so you can share it. Okay, our viewers, you can share it, and in between, if you have any questions, we will pick.
Fine. So I have a presentation. Let me put it up. So it is mainly a discussion, but I have created a presentation just to guide the interaction. Otherwise, we will all go here and there. Let me see how to share it. Here it is. Yeah. I cannot share
mute. If at all you have I think Som have to give the permission. Som, please give the permission to share the content.
Let me try again. Yes, it works.
Great.
I hope you all can see my screen. So, before I go forward, let me give a bit of a disclaimer. I am not a professional in this domain, neither any kind of a portfolio manager or a what's consultant or anything like that. What I'm going to present today is exactly the theory which I apply for myself and exactly the stocks which I have purchased for myself. That's the basic concept which I'll talk today, and I'll give the reason why I have invested into this. The other important thing is that the stock selection, the sectors in this is irrespective whether it is a turmoil or not. So these are, like I call them in my own way, I call them as sunrise sectors. I personally do not buy stocks in a SIP mode. I do not buy stocks in a systematic way, month on month and like that. In my selection of stocks, I buy all these things which I will go through respective to each of these sectors only during turmoil. So I have been buying this. I bought these shares during Ukraine issue. I bought these shares when Fed had given some kind of a bad announcement on the interest rate increase. Any opportunity, whenever there is a dip, I buy a basket of these shares. So I'm using Zerodha account. I have created a basket of these shares into each of these sectors or combination of them. Whenever there is a dip, I go and I buy one basket. I don't do SIP. I always look for, like for example, in the last week of December, when the market had practically touched 16,000, 15,700, at that time I did big buying. Every big dip, I do a big buying. That's the whole story. If others can mute, that will be helpful. Now, why these sectors? As the name mentions, sunrise sectors. I've chosen these sectors with a concept, thinking like this, that like what my father would have bought IOCL, BPCL, HPCL type of stocks, oil marketing company stocks, 35 years ago. And at that point in time, it was a sunrise sector. When automobile this was growing in India, fossil fuels were growing in India, all the oil marketing companies were opening a lot of their retail outlets, and this business was anticipated to grow 5, 10, 20 times in a longer period to go. Thinking on the similar lines, I have been buying these stocks from 2019 onwards. I was a long-term investor long before, mainly into mutual funds. In 2017, I bought this house, so I diluted all my investments. From 2019 onwards, I restarted this journey only in stocks, no mutual funds, no debt funds, nothing of that sort. And from 2019 onwards, I selected these sunrise sectors. I'll give the reasons why. Uh, uh, is the screen clear to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so each of these sectors are self-explanatory. There is not much to talk about them. We all know the need of electric vehicles. We all know that the fuel of electric vehicles is battery. We all know that when the electric vehicles or automobile sector will grow, obviously there will be need of auto ancillaries. There will be need of automobile softwares, which is very popular now. And we all know what government of India having signed the Paris Accord, and especially what has happened in the Ukraine crisis. Everybody, not just India, everybody across the world is thinking of creating an alternate to conventional energy. You should not have you should have other means than the natural gas or the crude oil. So the whole theme is based on that. In the end, I will talk about few monopoly businesses. In the electric vehicles, my investments are all in these stocks, what is there on the screen. I'll talk about them for each one of them. I'm not very sure if you people are aware, all of you. In electric vehicle, there are two things which are not there. One is fuel tank and second is internal combustion engine. These two things are not there. Fuel tank is replaced by batteries and internal combustion engine is replaced by a motor, which is called a BLDV motor, whatever it is called. Uh, the largest company, the largest listed company in creating electric vehicle motor is Sona BLW. If some of you might remember, this company got listed in year 2020. Maybe Ranga, if any one of you, if you remember, uh, this share I see that is going to grow leaps and bounds, because we expect the electric vehicle business to grow by 10, 20, 50 times in next 25, 30 years to come. Tata Motors needs no introduction. Tata Motors today has 70% market share in electric vehicles in India. It actually has 70% market share. Tata Motors has formally announced to launch 10 new electric vehicles in next 3 years. They are expected to bring Tata Sierra, Tata Sumo, Tata Estate, Tata Nano. Lot of cars are expected in the electric vehicle, so that business is actually going to grow a lot. Olectra Green Tech, JBM Auto, Ashok Leyland, which is the name which is not mentioned here. These three are primarily Olectra Green Tech, JBM Auto, Ashok Leyland. These are primarily into the public transport, which is electric vehicle buses, EV buses. So each one of them, they have a healthy order book for next 5-7 years. Each one of them have got contracts with state transport corporations. Olectra Green Tech has a contract with Gujarat State Transport Corporation. JBM Auto has a contract with Delhi, Noida, Faridabad, Gurgaon State Transport Corporation. Ashok Leyland has got contracts with Bihar, Telangana, Andhra, Tamil Nadu State Transport Corporations, and they are going to replace the complete internal combustion engine or the CNG buses fleet by electric vehicles in next 5 to 7 years. This is a sure shot confirmed business which is going to grow. Maruti Suzuki is again going to invest around 10,500 crore rupees. This is an announcement they made just 5 days ago. Suzuki Corporation Japan is going to invest into Suzuki India only for electric vehicles. The last three names are actually into two-wheeler bikes mainly. Today IPL has started. I don't know how many of you are aware. One of the sponsor of the Chennai team of IPL is uh, Joy e-bike. I'm not sure how many of you follow that. Joy e-bike is actually a product of a company called Ward Wizard Innovation. Similarly, there is another very famous bike by the name RV400 or Revolt bikes, electric vehicles. That's a product of Ratan India Enterprises. Greaves Cotton is a very big company in scooters, not bikes, electric scooters. They are setting up a 700 crore plant, I think somewhere in Tamil Nadu. These are the companies where, looking at the future of electric vehicles, I am heavily invested. Here are some of the news items for you, that TPG is investing $1 billion in Tata Motors. TPG, which is a very famous private equity firm, is investing $1 billion in Tata Motors electric vehicle subsidiary. Similarly, Japan has announced to invest $1.4 billion, around 10,500 crore rupees, for EVs in India factory. This announcement, Japan announcement, just came 5 days ago. So this is kind of, building the context why I'm going towards electric vehicles. I'll take a pause before I go to the next sector. So anybody who has any question, anything to ask?
Yeah, Harpreet, actually, generic question which most of our investors ask is the time period in which we must have to stay in. So what their intention of asking this question is, electric vehicles have created a lot of buzz in the last few years, but in terms of the returns, okay, there are some other sectors which have grown leaps and bounds compared to the electric vehicle segments. Just wanted to have your view. Is it the right time to invest in electric vehicles compared to other sectors where the growth will be higher? For example, if you take about the e-commerce boom, or any other sector which has boomed, like pharma, which has boomed in the last 10 years, you think the next 10 years is going to be of electrical vehicles? This is the first question. And the second question, generically, what they ask us is how much time you must have to stay in to clock in the right returns. Okay, I mean, our investors are not very, they know the approach of traditional investment, like the returns have to be more than 12% to 14%, like that, not just 100% returns and all, because they are aware of it. So just wanted to answer these two questions for our investors purpose.
See, very simple point. What is the projected growth rate of that cycle, of that industry? If my numbers are correct, Tata Motors is giving more than 150% growth rate year on year for electric vehicles. Sona BLW maybe 400% growth rate, Olectra, Greentech, all of these. I'll give you very simple examples. As I said, I started investing in these companies from year 2019 onwards. I bought Ratan India Enterprises at 16 rupees, and I think today's price is 60 rupees, something like that. Sona BLW at the time of IPO, when it was just listed, I had bought a good amount of shares. I think my price today is at least 2x. Tata Motors, I had bought at around 100 rupees. Today the price is 500 rupees. So JBM Auto, ever since they announced a split, 1:5, if I'm not wrong, the share has gone. I think I bought at 200 rupees. Today the price is 2000 rupees. So in terms of returns, if you ask me what is the expected return, time period, these two questions. If I look at all these shares, 2019, what I bought, I am today at least at 2x at each one of them. At least double. In some of them, I could be more than double, at least double. My time period horizon is very simple. Time period and horizon is the purpose of the investment. Am I making this saving? Let's call this asset class as a saving instrument. I am saving into this equity asset class for what purpose? Am I doing it for buying a house? Am I doing it for kids' education? Am I doing it for whatever other purpose? So the investment horizon is actually the purpose of the saving. And during this thing, you might actually churn out one of the stock, you might add another to one of them, but intent is very simple. I have purposely chosen to put all my savings in equity asset class rather than debt instruments or real estate or gold or anything else. And for me, investment horizon is for the purpose of the saving I am having. It could be kids' education, it could be house or XYZ. So these are the answers I'll give. When we go further, I'll tell you, there's no right time to buy, or there is no right time. I'll give you a few more examples. Now, building the story of electric vehicles, the first one we said that electric vehicle do not have a engine. So what runs? It is the BLDV motor, which is supplied by Sona.
Brushless DC motors.
So which is supplied by Sona BLW. Now, where is the fuel engine? The fuel engine is the EV battery. Fuel engine is the EV battery. Where the battery comes from? We all know the battery is lithium-ion battery, and lithium is a scarce resource. It is found in only 6 countries in the world, which is China, Australia, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, America. These countries, these are the only countries where lithium is found. There was a very small discovery somewhere near Bangalore, if I'm not wrong. What is that place where Sholay movie was shot? Ramanagaram. So somewhere near that, Ramnagar. So somewhere near that area, a very small lithium reserve was found. But largely, as I said, it is all towards the Latin America region, China and Australia. Surprisingly, if you buy a lithium-ion battery, whether you buy a Duracell or a mobile battery, laptop battery, car battery, whatever you buy, all across the world, more than 90% batteries are all manufactured in one country. And which is that? China. Why China? Because 25-30 years ago, long time before, China actually did diplomatic alliances with all these 6 countries, where China will do lithium exploration, bring it to their country, bring it to China, and then do refining, processing, and sell the finished product to the rest of the world. China did that 25-30 years ago. That is the reason today they have monopoly in lithium-ion batteries. Now, understanding that, what Government of India did? Government of India, here in front of you, created a company by the name Khanij Bidesh India Limited. Khanij Bidesh India Limited is actually promoted by 3 companies, the 3 owners of that company: National Aluminium Corporation, Hindustan Copper, and Mineral Exploration Company Limited. All 3 are owned by the President of India. Mineral Exploration Company is an unlisted company. The other 2 are listed companies. We all know Nelco, we all know Hindustan Copper. What Government of India has done is they have done similar alliances with those countries. Not all 6 of them, but at least China, Bolivia, Argentina, few of them. Sorry, Australia, Bolivia, Argentina, few of them, not China. Government since 2020 is Khanij Bidesh Limited, since 2020 is exploring raw lithium from there, bringing it to a refinery in Gujarat. Then they are actually supplying refined processed lithium for different applications to other companies. When I say different applications, which means processed lithium for mobile battery, laptop battery, car battery, all these different grades of lithium, they are supplying it to other countries who are then creating electric vehicle batteries. I will ask a vague question. Do you guys know 2 companies whose vehicle travel a longest distance in a single recharge? 2 companies, their distance.
I think it's Indian companies. Tata is the one, I suppose.
First is NASA, second is ISRO. Their vehicles travel longest distance in a single recharge. They have the best electric vehicle battery technology. What Tata Chemicals has done, Tata Chemicals has transferred the technology of creating a lithium-ion cell technology from ISRO, and they have set up a factory closer to the Khanij Bidesh Limited refinery in Gujarat. So government brings the raw lithium, government processes it, refines it, government gives it to companies like Tata Chemicals, and using the technology which is comes from ISRO, they create electric batteries. So that is the reason why in my list you see here, somebody of you must be wondering what National Aluminium is doing in electric vehicle batteries. National Aluminium, which is one of the promoter company of Khanij Bidesh Limited, is actually the one responsible to give lithium to the other companies to manufacture batteries. And the companies, the big ones which are expected to do good in this thing are Tata Chemicals, Exide, Tatva Chintan, Cabra Extrusions. These are the ones which I have bought. People might have other names also. There are other good companies also. I think one of them is Hitachi Energy. They have very good technology, which is a listed company in India. Then there is Amar Raja Batteries. There are many more, but these are the stocks which I own. Now, someone might be wondering what is Gravita India doing in it. Gravita India does not manufacture any batteries. What are the business they are into? Gravita India, what I use the term which is given by Mr. Warren Buffett, moat. Gravita India has a fantastic moat in battery recycling business. All of us, whenever our car battery goes down, we buy a battery of assuming 6,000 rupees, and in return of the old battery, the person gives us 1,000 rupees discount. So buyback. So practically the net price what you get is 5,000 rupees. What happens to the used battery which goes back? What is the purpose of that? All these batteries, they go to a company called Gravita India. Gravita India is actually does what you call it as disintegration of non-ferrous elements out of the battery. They take lead, they take aluminium, nickel, copper, plastic, whatever constitutes in that used battery, they disintegrate all of these non-ferrous elements, which are then recycled and repurposed for other activities. Why I call this as moat? The reason this is a moat because it recycling of used of this kind of a thing, disintegration of these kind of things requires lots of government approvals, pollution control board, XYZ. It requires a lot of things. It's not easy to get. Gravita India is in a position, there is a huge entry barrier in this business. Not everybody can do this business, and taking advantage of the moat, not only that they are doing the disintegration of all the used batteries of Amar Raja, Exide, and all other things in India, they are also doing it for 70 other countries in the world. They take batteries from all those countries, they disintegrate those non-ferrous metals, and which are then given it back for the purpose. Now, coming back to Ranga, the question you asked, price. I have bought Gravita India stock at the price of 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 200 rupees, 250 rupees, 350 rupees. I have bought this share at all prices. Now, somebody asks me what is the right price, when to exit, I have no answer. Now, when I bought at 50 rupees, was 100 or 150 rupees was the time to exit, or 350 rupees is the time to is the price to exit, I have no idea. Whenever, as I said, there is a dip in the market, whenever there is a dip in the market, I buy my basket. Tata Chemicals, I started buying since 2019 when the news article, what you see here, I picked this news article in 2019. I have been buying Tata Chemicals since then. I bought Tata Chemicals at 350, 450, 550, 650, 750, 850, 950. I bought it at all levels. Now, somebody asked me what is the right time to exit, what time shall I hold? I have no idea. So I keep accumulating all these shares.
Okay. Great. So it's like, holding an asset which has a growth potential, like a lambe riski ghoda. So, we have
Yeah,
to get rid of it. We have to come out of it whenever we feel it is necessary. But these companies are going to grow. That's what is your intention, I suppose.
absolutely. Like look around ourselves. How many green number plates car we were seeing a year ago, and how many green number plate cars we are seeing it today?
In
It's
Bangalore,
act,
definitely yes. It's more.
it's actually visible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's actually visible, and and to talk few more things about it in case you people are not aware, there is a new tax saving section which is called 80EB. So when you will
Great.
file the income tax return, you will find 80EB, which basically is the way we get 2 lakh rupees tax exemption on the interest of home loan. Similarly, under section 80EB, you can actually get 1.5 lakh rupees tax exemption on the interest part of electric vehicle.
Oh,
Government
great.
has actually created that type of incentive up to the level of 1.5 lakh rupees per annum, which is very close to home loan.
Great.
Not only that, many state governments are actually giving free registration and free road tax. Delhi state government is doing it. Delhi state government and Maharashtra state government, these two I am aware, others I am not aware. They are also giving a special meter for you. If you are installing a home charging station, you can actually install your home charging station under the with the special meter, and the tariff for that special meter is 20% lesser than the normal electricity tariff. So with
Great.
all
Superb.
these kind
Nice
of
to hear that.
with all these incentives which are coming into play, and then the crisis like Ukraine, dollar going to $140, the barrel crude oil going to $140, with all these things getting into play, there is a huge, this is a segment which is going to grow at least by 150% year on year on year on year.
Perfect. Great. Superb. So I think, EVs are going to grow and India is set for the path now. I think 2030, what Paris Accord, India has promised that, X% of the overall energy should be utilized from the electricity. I think that is going to happen. That's what is your target intention, I suppose.
And then this is all fundamental story, and then I'll come to a bit of a speculative story also. The bit of a speculative story is this. I'm a very firm believer that TPG, which has invested $1 billion in a new company, which is called Tata Electric Vehicle Motor Company, which is a subsidiary of Tata Motors. I'm 110% convinced that in a time to come, it may happen in 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, I don't know, they will list this company separately.
Okay.
Tata Electric Motor Vehicle Company might get a separate listing altogether outside Tata Motors.
Okay.
And somebody who has today invested in Tata Motors, they will see a lot of benefit. I'll give you two examples. One is HDFC Limited. 3 years ago, HDFC Limited price was around 1,200 rupees. Today, HDFC Limited price is somewhere close to 3,000, 2,700, 800, something like that. It has almost gone 3 times. Why? Because besides the cash flow from operation, which is growing for HDFC Limited, undoubtedly, they have got a lot of earnings from cash flow from investments. CFI has given them a lot of earnings. And what is that CFI? The CFI is listing of in last 3-4 years, listing of HDFC AMC, listing of HDFC Life, listing of those kind of subsidiaries. Similar, whenever a company, another example is your Naukri.com, the listing of Policy Bazaar, listing of Zomato, and now going forward listing of Jeevansathi.com. With every listing of a subsidiary company, the parent company valuation goes high. So this is, besides the fundamental growth of electric vehicles, I feel that when TPG, obviously TPG is a marquee investor, most of the market investors take their money out when the IPO comes. So TPG will be doing exactly for the same purpose. When the IPO will come, when they will get a separate listing, then obviously Tata Motor valuation will go high. This is more of a speculative thing. Same thing goes for National Aluminium Corporation. My expectation is 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. I don't know when. Khanij Videsh India Limited definitely will get listed. The day Khanij Videsh Limited gets listed, National Aluminium Corporation and Hindustan Copper Limited both will get very high valuations because they will have 33% stake of the company. So this is the speculative part of it. Now going forward, automobile softwares. This is a very interesting domain. I like it. Most of you today would be excited about XUV 700. There are a lot of features XUV 700 talks about, which is collision avoidance, ADAS. What is ADAS? Automated driver assistance, drive assistance system, something like this. And ADAS has got a lot of concepts about, hill descent control. You push a button, your car gets more throughput, but which is called, somebody calls it as power mode, sport mode, some new names which are given. Then you have in BMW a lot of features like if you are drunk and you sit on the driving seat, the car will not start because there is a sensor in front of you which will detect your level of toxicity. There are a lot of such features in cars today which help in like XUV 700, the ADAS type of features, hill descent control, power control, throughput, XYZ. All these things are coming from software. And not to mention autonomous driving, something which JLR is building and something which Tesla already has. Tesla, the features of autonomous driving, which is there in Tesla, JLR is coming head on competition with the Tesla, exactly with the similar car. And all the software features in JLR cars are built by Tata Elxsi. All the software features in BMW, Chevrolet, and few more American and European companies are all built by KPIT Technologies. I have bought Tata Elxsi exactly 2 years ago, this month only. This month only, I had bought 2 years ago Tata Elxsi at 800 rupees. I think yesterday it closed at 8,400 or some price like this. It is 10x now. KPIT Technologies, I have bought at 100, 200, 300, 500. I bought at all levels and it keeps on growing. So automobile software, I see a lot of potential. Another interesting thing which I feel about automobile is that somewhere down the line, I'm convinced that state governments, India and outside, will start making these collision avoidance, ADAS, hill descent control, all these kind of features. I'm very convinced that these will, in the course of time, will start becoming mandatory. For example, airbags. Recently, Government of India has made 6 airbags compulsory. So these features which are luxury today, in time to come will become mandatory features. State governments will make them mandatory. So companies like KPIT Technologies, Tata Elxsi will gain a lot out of it. One question, short one. We all know that cars have been delayed off late. What's the one single reason of such a short supply of cars? Guys, are you there?
Chips.
Correct answer. Bosch is investing $1.2 billion in a chip plant, and they are going to come big time. Purpose-built chips for automobiles. Bosch is going to be the biggest chip supplier for automobiles. All the things which I just said about software features of the cars, software features are all very good, but they all need a microprocessor behind it to run, to execute, that software alone, where will it run? It actually needs a hardware. Bosch is going to be one of is going to be the biggest supplier of chips. Though you might feel that the news which I'm presenting here is actually about Bosch Germany, not for Bosch India. But the interesting thing is Bosch India is the single listed company of the Bosch group across the world. They don't have any other listed company in the world except Bosch India. So from a market point of view, Bosch India is going to do phenomenally good with chips, and obviously software and chips will go hand in hand. Here comes my interesting topic on renewable energy. I'll talk about Sterling and Wilson in a short while. Very quick about Borosil Renewables. This is a company which gets their more than 70% revenue from outside India. And the reason is that they have monopoly in producing glass screens for solar films, for solar panels. So solar panels also have certain grades of glass films. The thinnest and the strongest film is glass screen is produced by Borosil Renewables. Huge huge export business in this domain. Tata Power needs no introduction. Adani Green Energy needs no introduction. Adani Green Energy is the world's second or third largest solar power plant in the world, on the border of Gujarat and Rajasthan border. It is partly in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Adani Power is very similar to Tata Power, Orient Green Power, and a very small company, Urja Global. I think I had bought Urja Global shares at 3 rupees or 4 rupees. I don't remember it. Today, the price should be in the range of maybe 18, 19 rupees. I've bought Urja Global at every dip. Every time there is a market, there's a particular stock. When it grows 5%. When it falls 5%. Whenever this stock falls like 5%, like crazy, always I buy it. Then the first company is Sterling and Wilson. Sterling and Wilson is into a very interesting business. They are the world's largest mechanical engineering procurement and construction company of solar panels. They don't produce it, but they do the engineering part of installing solar panels. World's largest solar farm is in Saudi Arabia, which is done by Sterling and Wilson. Again, they have a very high revenue from Europe, North America, Middle East, Asia, all the region, and a company which is going to install even bigger solar power plant in India than Adani Green Energy is Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries has committed huge investments into renewable energy. Now, where is Reliance Energy going to get resources of installation, expertise, engineering, procurement, construction? Where are they going to get these expertise from? It's very difficult because demand is very high, resources are very limited, skills, expertise are very limited. To make that happen, they did a very simple thing. They have purchased a company called Sterling and Wilson, which is the largest mechanical engineering procurement and construction company for the solar panels. So they have purchased this company. They have bought 40% share, which is the largest promoter holding. I'm very bullish on Sterling Wilson. I bought this share at price of 400. I originally bought at 415. I bought at 395. I bought at 385, 375. I bought at 355 as the market was falling down, and I bought it at 315 also. By the way, Mr. Mukesh Ambani, MDAG Group, has purchased 40% stake in this company at the price of 375. I have a very strong feeling of at least doubling the price for a simple reason. I'll draw analogy. This is all about Reliance commitment on investment in green energy. And I'm giving you the analogy. Here is the interesting thing for you. If you look at it, this is the results of Network TV 18. Network TV 18 was a company purchased by MDAG Group around 2016-17. Now look at the bottom of it. What was the net profit of the company when they purchased it? And what is the net profit of the company as of today? Look at the quarter on quarter. Going from minus 100, it is actually touching plus 100. This is classically the turnaround story of MDAG Group. They have an exceptionally good track record of converting loss-making companies into profit-making companies. I had bought when MDAG Group had purchased Network 18. I had bought this. I bought it at the price of 20 or 25. I don't remember it exactly in that range. Today, I think it should be close to 100 rupees a share. Same is the story for another company which they had purchased, which was called Alok Industries. MDAG Group had purchased it. And look at the bottom. What was the loss of this company? Minus 120, minus 165, minus 200. That's the loss they were running. And look at the situation where they are almost coming green.
Harpreet Singh.
And now linking the story with these two analogies, look at SW Solar. MDAG Group, when they have purchased SW Solar in 2020, end of 2020, look at it, what is the loss this company is going? Minus 350, minus 285, minus 422. And I am convinced that they will convert this company far more profitable than what it is today, similar to what they did with Alok Industries and similar to what they did with Network TV 18. What essentially it means that earning per share is going to grow by at least 3-4 times. I'm fully convinced, at least double earning per share. So this is the reason why I am strongly invested in Sterling and Wilson, Borosil Renewable. I have told you. There is another private equity firm which has invested $500 million in a subsidiary of Tata Power. That company is called Tata Solar Power Limited. And like I mentioned about previously about Tata Motors, it's again speculation. I feel that Tata Solar Electric Power might also become a separate listed company in time to come. And then obviously the promoter valuations will go high. That's the thought. All what I'm showing with you, I'm invested in all of these shares very heavily, and I'm showing you the reasons why I'm invested. Green hydrogen. This is a very interesting domain. The good part about electric vehicles and green hydrogen, what is the difference? The difference is that the solar energy cannot be transported like the natural gas or the crude oil. You cannot transport solar energy. You cannot move solar energy in a ship or on a truck from one state to the other or from one country to the other country, the way classically the Petronet LNG and these people do. That kind of a thing is not possible. So it has limitation. You have, wherever it is produced, you have to consume it in that place. You cannot create into an export business. Green hydrogen is something which can be converted into an export business. The way we are today importing natural gas, we can actually export green hydrogen gas. That is possible. It is doable. The big thing which is required is people who are familiar with this domain is electrolysis. Some kind of electrolysis is required. You take hydrogen gas outside of the water. You can put it in a container. You can export it. You can send it. You can have a pipeline. You can like a pipeline, the way Russia has a pipeline going all the way to Europe. You can do all those kind of things. Gujarat Fluorochem is a company which is very unique. They are big time into building electrolysis process to extract green hydrogen outside of the from the water. I have bought this share at 100 rupees, sorry, 1000 rupees, 1500, 2000, 2500, and I bought it at 3000 also. This share is continuously growing. Even during Ukraine crisis, when almost all the shares had fallen down by 25, 30, 40, 50%, this share had a very, very short correction, very small correction. I am buying this share at every level. This is giving me fantastic returns. World's largest investment in green hydrogen anywhere in the world is Reliance Industries. They are putting in the world's largest investment into green hydrogen. L&T again is engineering procurement company, construction company. They are the ones who are going to do it for Reliance Industries. Neogen Chemicals is something very similar to Gujarat Fluorochem. Gas Authority of India Limited is doing something very good. It has recently been done, I think, in Mathura refinery and one more place. It has been done recently in two places. What exactly they are doing is they are blending natural gas with hydrogen gas. That's a experiment which is already in process. The intent is the blending proportion will grow in time to come, and slowly the gas which is they are supplying, the natural gas which they import from Gulf region, they will start reducing the content of the natural gas, and the hydrogen gas content will grow along with that. This is the whole concept what Gas Authority of India is. I'll take a pause. Any questions on this?
Harpreet, actually, we scheduled this session for an hour. So we wanted another 5 minutes also to have the questions and answers. So we would like you to
I have just 2 more slides and we'll finish.
Perfect. Yeah.
So building on the same concept, all these shares which I presented to you, these are some things which I've invested in 2019. As I've mentioned, I've been buying at all dips, and many of them are 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, as I've mentioned. Now, the right question anybody may ask is, this is already done. Is there a sector for future? So something where I am not invested now, as of now, but I'm expecting to invest in this sector is ethanol. So this is a sector which I am seeing what electric vehicles did for me in last 2 years, what renewable energy did for me in last 2 years. I'm expecting ethanol sector to do something similar in next 2 years again for me. So this is, I am not invested in these stocks. I'm invested in all the previous stocks which I've shown before, but my next target is these stocks. And the reason is this: Government of India has made it mandatory that year 2022 there will be 5% blending of ethanol in petrol. 23 it will be 10%, 24 it will be 15%, and year 25 it will be 25%. Year on year blending, Government of India has set the target. The target for year 22, which was to achieve 5%, they have actually achieved 9% already, as you see the news article over here. And there is a discussion happening that government, if the result goes so good, government might actually increase the year 25 target to 25% from 20%. So ethanol has a very large potential. Think about it, all your cars, scooter, bikes, if they all have to get 25% of ethanol, where is ethanol going to come from? आएगा कहाँ से? बनेगा कहाँ पे? And in case you might not have noticed it, I'm bringing it to your attention. In this budget on 1st of February 22, Government of India has announced that with effect from October 22, unblended petrol will be 2 rupees per liter expensive than the blended petrol. So this is kind of giving disincentive to unblended petrol. So if you want a cheaper petrol, go for blended. If you want a expensive petrol, go for unblended petrol. Unblended petrol is going to become will have additional levy of 2 rupees per liter with effect from 1st of October. So that is the reason that is the kind of a stick they are using to achieve the target of 20% by 2025, or maybe 25% by 2025. The companies who are going to make it happen. Praj Industries is a company which actually installs biorefineries or micro refineries, biorefineries. I don't exactly remember what the term is. They are the ones who install refineries closer to the sugarcane fields or closer to the rice bran fields. The whole idea is to use sugarcane to produce ethanol, and to use rice residual, the one which farmers burn during the harvest season. Instead of burning that, you actually take it out and you use that to create ethanol. So these are the companies. Praj Industries is the one which is installing those biorefineries in closer to the sugar canes or the rice bran fields to create ethanol, and they will supply to nearby retail outlets. And the companies which are using Praj Industries technology to make it happen are Bajaj Hindustan Sugar, Dwarika Sugar, Triveni Engineering, Balrampur Chini, classic all sugar companies who are doing it. Vikas Life Care again is a very small company which is doing something similar, but from the rice bran rather than the sugar cane. So I had bought Vikas Life Care, I don't remember, at the price of 1 rupee 85 paisa, something like that. I think now the share should be around 7-8 rupees as of now. So this is what I did. Out of these stocks, I have only Vikas Life Care. I don't have others. I'm waiting for the correction to happen. Whenever there is the next dip, I will buy all these shares. So this is the story. I have now the last slide to go. Before I go there, any questions you may have?
I think there are a few questions. You should. I think once your slide is done, maybe we'll open the floor for the questions.
The last slide, which I call it as monopoly businesses. We have talked so much about energy, solar energy, hydrogen energy, gas energy, all kind of things, and so many companies who are going to produce energy. Adani Power, Orient Green Power, CG Power, Tata Power, so many of companies who are producing energy. How are they going to sell and buy all these energy from each other? It's very similar to how we buy stocks from each other. If I have to buy Bharti Airtel, I do not go to Bharti Airtel office. If I have to buy stocks of Praj Industries, I don't go to Praj Industries office. We all buy and sell stocks at stock exchange. Similarly, energy, people are going to buy and sell energy at India Energy Exchange, IEX. IEX have recently created one more subsidiary, which is called Gas Exchange, India Gas Exchange. So India Energy Exchange, India Gas Exchange, both comes under the business of IEX. It is 100% monopoly business. Anybody who is setting up a EV charging station, anybody who's setting up a solar power plant, anybody who's doing a hydrogen power plant, or whatever you do, you eventually will sell through them and you will buy through them. 100% monopoly business. As of today in India, energy in our country, IEX is trading only 4% of the energy purchased and sold by producers and buyers. As of today, only 4%. 2 years ago, it was 1%. In America, IEX exchange or energy exchange is trading 45% of the total energy needs of the country. If this 4% does not become 40%, doesn't matter. If this 4% becomes 10%, 12%, practically we are seeing 3x growth of the company. IEX is one of the rarest company in our country which has operating income of 85% of their revenue. Operating income is 85% of their revenue. The fantastic business. CDSL we don't have to talk about. everybody using angel broking or Zerodha or XYZ. Everyone knows what CDSL is, and it's a phenomenally great business. It does not require coal, it does not require raw material, it does not require cotton, it does not require jute, it does not require pollution control board, does not require anything. You just set up a server in the cloud and all is done. Somebody who's buying or selling shares, he makes profit, he makes loss, immaterial. CDSL is always profitable. IRCTC,
Great.
anybody who has to take a train journey, there is no second option than IRCTC. So these are the monopoly businesses. Government is going to come with Tejas train, government is going to come with bullet train, government is going to do whatever thing in the railway. IRCTC is only going to grow. So these are the monopoly businesses, highly profitable, very high future growth potential, and I'm invested in all three of them. So I'll end it over here. Big list of shares I have shown you. Ethanol is something which is my next target. Others I've been investing in since year 2019. I am buying, I've created these baskets and I buy at every dip, every opportunity. Whenever there is a dip due to Ukraine, due to whatever other reasons, I buy all these shares. I'll take a pause, sir. Please ask any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Harpreet, first of all, for your detailed analysis. I'm pretty sure you have taken a lot of time and, and not only in terms of preparing the document presentation, but also the knowledge base you have. I already know you from long, but the kind of I'm pretty sure our guest today will have a lot of questions. Just to ask you one question I have. After that, I'll open the floor for the people to ask the questions. The question which most of the people ask is about the diversification. Okay, so the sectors which you told are mostly towards energy, like renewable energy, electrical energy, ethanol, the gas, those alternative energies, and also the automobile softwares. Do you think most of the major investments should get into these stocks, or any other percentage you recommend to get into these stocks? What exactly is your approach towards that?
See, besides these stocks, I have the standard ones. Reliance, ICICI Bank, HDFC Limited, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel. These standard stocks, Nifty 50, top 10, 12 stocks, I have all of them. So from that perspective, initially, everybody says blue chip share. I used to buy those blue chip shares. And like I said, dip buying, I have used every dip as an opportunity. Somewhere in March 2020, you guys might think it otherwise. I had bought 100 shares of Reliance Industries at 900 rupees. So
yes, I'm also part of that.
972 or some price like 900 rupees. So whenever there is an opportunity and I feel that a particular share is available at a very low price, I buy it. Whenever there is some kind of a block deal, for example, MTAR Technologies, very recent example, I think yesterday or day before, there was a very big block deal in MTAR Technologies, a huge quantum was trading, and there was a momentary dip into the stock. Jubilant Food Works, a very good example. The CEO of Jubilant Food Works resigned, and the share price crashed like anything. Share price which used to be 3,700 or 3,900, it came down at 2,400. So I bought a good amount of shares of Jubilant Food Works. So again, coming to the point, if there is any momentarily drop in any blue chip share, I always buy it as an opportunity. So those things I also do. On one particular day, I don't remember if some of you are aware, on one day, IRCTC had announced that they are going to give revenue share to Government of India on every ticket they sell, and the amount was quite hefty. On one particular day, IRCT's share fell down from 900 rupees to 600 rupees. Within 3 to 4 hours, Government of India withdrew that policy. They called that back, and the share price by the end of the day came back from 600 to 900. On that day, I bought some very good number of shares of 100 shares of IRCTC. So I keep doing such kind of things whenever there is a dip for any reason.
Great, superb. I open the floor for to other team members. Anyone who wants to ask the question, the guests, you are welcome. You can unmute and ask the questions. I have so many questions, but I wanted you to ask the questions now. You can carry on.
So, Harpreet, one question from my side. What percentage of your portfolio would be these kind of shares? So typically, you have any suggestion for growing sectors or these kind of sectors? What kind of percentage allocation should be done?
Sir, मैंने to be honest कभी ऐसे सोचा नहीं. Never thought like this. And whenever there is a dip, like I told you, I keep chasing it. Whenever there is a dip, I buy it. But if I see my Zerodha screen, it says that 51% of my portfolio is large cap, and some 20% is around less than 20% is mid cap, and rest all are small cap. That is what my Zerodha pie chart is showing me. So, but I never thought it like this. Like, it makes no difference for me. If Tata Elxsi is called a small cap company, okay, be it. How does it matter to me?
You say as long as fundamentals are strong and are in a growth mode, I think that's the stock. You should own the stock. That's it.
Yeah, if KPIT Technology is called a small cap company, be it, मुझे क्या problem है? 150 रुपए का शेयर 700 रुपए हो गया, मतलब you call it small cap, large cap, mid cap, how does it matter?
Any other questions, guys? Okay. If there are no questions, I think the explanation was so clear, Harpreet. We are so glad that that is the only reason I felt that you don't have many people doesn't have questions, but it's a wonderful presentation. We definitely want to have you more on our sessions. I think there are some people who are stuck at mutual funds still. How do we move from them to stocks? Because your approach, what you said, I always invest in stocks. Okay, let's understand that. We wanted to understand that perspective also in future and guide people towards many other alternative investment plans. Okay, thank you very much once again. And to the viewers, next week is
from a stock market perspective, I'll definitely say that India is today at a really a sweet spot of the overall economic growth. There is no country in the world. There is no country in the world which has got more than 700 million people who are yet to buy a first two-wheeler. There is no country in the world where you have more than 1 billion people who are yet to buy a first four-wheeler. And there is no country in the world which has got more than 1.2 billion people who are yet to board first flight. अभी तो बहुत पोटेंशियल है, बहुत साइकिल बिकने हैं, बहुत टू व्हीलर बिकने हैं, बहुत ट्रेन, बहुत कुछ होना है इस कंट्री. तो it's, I'm not saying only from a automobile point of view, it's just an analogy, but whether it is FMCG or whether it is textiles or any damn thing, this is a huge way to go in this country. Huge way to go. We should always to make and I say it in my own way, to make India a $5 trillion company, we should always say that Congress is the best party and Rahul Gandhi is the best leader. he should stay at the top of the Congress party. This party should not reform. It should remain in the current state. What it is, India will become a $5 trillion economy. And let's all encourage him to stay over there.
You know? Great.
Harpreet ji,
Thanks a
one
lot.
question, if you have 2 minutes.
Hanji sir.
Please, Dushyant, please go on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dushyant,
Tata Digital Super App, which entity, legal entity should benefit from that eventually?
Sir, TTML. मैंने 1000 शेयर लिए थे 12 रुपए. मैंने 1000 शेयर लिए थे 12 रुपए in 2019.
Okay.
So TTML will be renamed as Tata Tele Business Services Limited. So it is TTML which is going to run the super app story. So Dushyant, coming back to your sector of specialty chemicals, sorry I missed that. One of my favorite sector. I've made a lot of money in that. So I must say Alkyl Amine, Balaji Amine, Rosari Biotech, and Deepak Nitrite,
Naveen Fluorine.
Naveen Fluorine and Gujarat Fluorochem, both of them. One of the interesting reason why they have become so good is because Gujarat Fluorochem kahan gaya? Because there is this chemical na, I'm forgetting Dushyant, which is banned by government of India, jisko ab import nahi kar sakte. It's a big name, fluorochem something, which is used as gas in compressors, AC compressors, right?
141B. So 141, basically chlorofluorocarbon. So 141B is is obsolete now. The new one is 245FA, which will also get obsolete. But Honeywell has a, I would say, technology tie-up with Naveen Fluorine. They also have set up a plant which basically next generation blowing agents. So these blowing agents typically get, as per Kyoto Protocol, every few years, new generation of blowing agents need to be introduced. So I think there Naveen Fluorine and Gujarat Fluorochem, they have some advantage. Fluorine
so
chemistry.
Both these companies, Neogen Chemicals and Gujarat Fluorochem, besides the battery and the green hydrogen, in dono ke alawa, both of them are very good into their specific specialty chemical business as well. So these are well diversified companies.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I think, we never realized that, this session went for 1 hour, 15 minutes. And even our professors' lectures, we have not heard for this long, for sure. But we really enjoyed your session, Harpreet. We would look forward to see you back on other topic. We have so many.
So I may add, Ranga, one more thing over here. I am buying huge quantity of shares every month, huge quantity. And I pledge all the shares I buy within 24 hours.
Great.
I have a huge amount of pledged collateral, and I use that pledged collateral for F&O.
Super.
And whatever I earn from F&O every month, I buy more delivery basket of this. I pledge it, and then my number of lots increase, and then the cycle keeps on growing.
Interesting. We would like to learn that subject as well, of how you are doing the F&O stock switch. If at all you are open to share with our viewers in the next sessions.
Yeah. So F&O, I'm doing it very aggressively, and whatever I'm earning, again being invested into delivery, and then pledge it, get more collateral. I initially started it, let us say, with the 3 lots of Bank Nifty. With more collateral, it became 5 lots. With more collateral, it became 10 lots. With more collateral, it becomes 20 lots, 30 lots. So, the size keeps growing like this.
Super. We would like to learn. We would like our users to also learn from your experiences of, switching these two, because many of the people have these questions on F&Os. Where to invest, why to invest, how to invest, when to invest, those many questions. And what kind of knowledge do they have to have before investing and all. So we would definitely call you for the other session. Just a disclaimer, guys, for everyone. Neither Harpreet nor PickGrowth are into the advisory business. We are not advising anyone to buy or sell these stocks or particular ones. It's just our personal view, and it's just Harpreet's view of focusing on how he is maintaining his own portfolio. Okay. Great. We enjoyed you on the call, Harpreet, and we enjoyed everybody's attendance. Next week, we are planning to a topic which Harpreet might not like, but many of the users are behind me. That is cryptos. Okay, so whether people should invest or not is a different question. But what kind of investment should get into cryptos? What kind of what is the forecast? What exactly is a crypto? Why people are talking about it? Those questions we'll know in our next Saturday session. Okay. Meanwhile, thank you very much.
On crypto, I can give one equity advice. Anybody who wants to earn from equity market due to crypto, the company's Tanla platform, Hyderabad. So the announcement which was made by Ms. Sitaraman, you remember she said that government is going to create a virtual digital currency, something like that. She said that virtual digital currency is which government of India is going to kind of legitimize over here, will be based on the blockchain platform of Tanla.
Great, superb. So I think you mean to say that one Tanla gets started on come to IPO, we should buy it. This is
Tanla is already Tanla is a listed company. Tanla is the India's largest blockchain company. They are India's largest blockchain company.
Superb. Then I think our visitors have a tip already. And also at the end of the day, for every user, we suggest a book every week, Harpreet. So if you have a book in mind on investing, I would like you to suggest which one to read in brief, to understand the fundamentals of investing and then the kind of investment and all. If you have any book to suggest, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session for the day.
Okay, sir. If I don't read the book, but I generally read a lot of news articles, all type of magazines, Money Control, Business Standard. This then pick up a lot of things from a lot of places. That's all about it.
Great. I think if at all if somebody wants to pick up the Rich Dad Poor Dad, though it is old, some of the principles I like it personally. I am trying to implement in my journey, which I am liking it. So if at all you want to read once again, yes, go for it. I think many of the people know it, but many of the people doesn't read it actually. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. We'll come back to you with on next Saturday. Thank you very much, Harpreet and team. Thank you.